Hello, today we're doing a ring tutorial. This is a ring to match the bracelet that we made in a previous video. The stone is lapis lazuli and the two of them look beautiful. Let's get started. Cut two lengths of copper wire 1 millimeter thick. They are 30 centimeters long or 12 inches, and thread your stone bead onto one of the wires. Bend those wires around the stone and keep them close up to the stone. Tighten them up and then begin the band twist. This will twist along to where your size matches. Before you complete that twist, just check on your size to see if it's going to be a good fit. I use a little piece of wire, which is the circumference of the size I want. Now tap out that ring band. Just lightly hammer it with a nylon or rubber hammer, mallet. You don't want to break those strands of wire. Just enough to lock it all in and secure that band. Tap lightly, check it for straightness, and then from there you're going to wrap this band around your ring mandrel. Bending that band around the mandrel, you can also check for size. Try it on or check the size on a ring sizer before you proceed to take the wires across and anchor the size. With this design of ring, there is always going to be a wire that you take across to anchor the one side to the other. And then that will make your ring strong and secure. And from there, you can do all the decorating, but it's a nice, strong structure. If the wires look too long, then trim some back. You're going to take those wires across to the other side and wrap them round once or twice around the top of the twist, and then take it up onto the top of the ring to start a decoration. This is where you bring in your artistic abilities and your own taste and make a lovely topping to this beautiful dessert of a ring. Curl, you can add a few beads, it doesn't matter. I have a quick tip for you that I use a lot to make little worms of wrap worms. And I do this by winding around a piece of brass wire and just make these little lengths of wraps. Wind them round, push them down to compress, and then take them off that wire. And just keep them in a little jar for when you need them. I find that these little long wraps often work better than trying to do the wrap once your piece of jewelry has all sorts of bits and pieces of wire sticking out in all directions and trying to do a neat wrap at that time. So here you just make one, slide it on to where you think it'll look good, and see how it looks. If it doesn't look good, then you can take it off again and try something else. Now here I'm going to put on one of those little worms, slide it down onto the tail and see how it looks. And I think it looks really nice, so I'm going to keep it. And I just push it down, work it along that wire until it's in just the right place. I think it'll look really good. I love the way these wraps look. It adds such a lovely textured face to a piece of jewelry. It looks so interesting. People will ask you, how did you do that? And yet it's quite a simple process. And I just love to use it. We have two tails on each side of this ring, and they're a great opportunity for prettying up the top of that ring. Working on the first side, you have slid a little wrapped worm over one of them and then curl them up, nest them in against the stone so they sit nice and snugly against it. Nothing that sticks out or will snag into a person's clothing or their skin. These lapis lazuli stones I bought from China on one of those trial and error orders, and they've actually they're pretty good. They have a nice sparkle in them, and that lovely deep blue, and I love the color. Very pleased with them. With these orders, we're never too sure what we'll get, but these were good. They turned out well, and I have sold a lot of them in rings and pendants, so good choice. You're working on the other side of the ring now, and you have the same little tails to finish off and make pretty. I have slid another of those little worm wraps onto this side, and I think it makes a nice balance so that it's not all loaded with one side is textured and the other one looks a little bit too plain. Finish up those with the pretty curls. Make sure that they're all tucked in. I've done something a little bit different on the other side just to make this ring look very interesting. Again, do pretty curls, or you could add a bead or two if you wanted to, and then finally nest it in nice and tightly against the stone so that they don't stick out. Put the ring back onto the ring mandrel once you're satisfied that you've done all your decorating to the exact way you want it to look. Tap around the ring band on the mandrel. I use a metal hammer here. And just to secure and lock in all the design, the curls, the twists, everything is nice and secure. I have a link here for the bracelet which we made, and that video you can follow to make the matching bracelet. And together they make a gorgeous set. I think they look beautiful. I hope you've made some too, and let me know how yours turn out. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.